president, still acting unpresidential. I'm in the Bronx with the evil in my residential. It was all emojis, it was never mental. The silver spoon is under fire, and the pressure vented. The times that we living in unprecedented.
Welcome to the Build and Destroy podcast, where we build on what's to come and we destroy what's done.
Yeah.
I'm joined here with my legendary cohorts, Blue Pillar, Red Pillar, Brother Tyreek, Smoke and Grow Rich. Man, we got an interesting episode for y'all today.
Yes, we do.
You know,
yes,
we're
indeed.
going to talk about something that, you know, is intertwined into every single individual's life. I don't care who you are.
I don't care.
If you live and breathe, you understand that every living thing is bound by cords to every other living thing. And you understand that relationships are more important than money.
That's right. Say that again.
Relationships are more important than money.
Then expound on that. Let's lead right into it.
Well, see, there's an old saying that money makes the world go round.
Right.
But the truth is, people make the world go round.
That is right.
Right.
Because people give value to everything on this earth.
Right.
People.
Right.
So relationships are the most important thing. Because, see, you can have money and no relationships and lose it all, and you'll never be able to get it again. But if you have money and you have solid relationships and you lose it all, you can get it back in 6 months.
Right. Could bounce back.
Absolutely.
Well, let's even take it a bit further and step into the future.
Come on with it.
6 minutes.
Come on,
Dougie
6
Fresh, you're
minutes.
on. They have something called a 1 minute millionaire, right? And the 1 minute millionaire dictates that we are at a place right now where if I had 1 million followers and I lost my whole fortune, and I told those 1 million followers to give me $1 via Cash
Back
App,
in 6 minutes.
right? By the time 6 minutes hits, I already made $1 million.
Wow. That's
Right?
powerful.
1 minute millionaire. Hey guys, you guys know me. I've added value to your life. I took a little hit the other day, got wiped out. If you find it in your heart, just send $1 now. And we're gonna just open it up for about 6 minutes.
That's
And then they will respond, right?
Call to action. Right.
Call to action, right? So it is further proof that we've placed our values in the wrong places.
Absolutely.
And as a result of that, we could begin to diagnose where the root of the problem is.
Right. But then some people would say, well, people are fueled by money, whereas we think that, you know, food is fuel for people. In some circumstances, people are fueled and motivated and driven, you know what I'm saying, by the incentive that comes along with that dollar. So are they intertwined? You know what I'm saying? When you're speaking about money and people, do they go hand in hand? Are relationships tethered upon, you know, some sort of finance?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, what can you do for me? And what can I do for you?
Right.
It's called, Red says something about, you know, being able to understand relationships.
Yes.
And I think that we have tools here on the earth that we were blessed with, those who were blessed to understand it. Even AI is a tool that can help you understand relationships. The Law of 44 is a tool that can help you understand relationships.
Yes.
The I Ching is a tool that can help you understand relationships. And the deck of playing cards, the 52 deck of playing cards, can help you understand relationships. And I think that that's the most powerful piece when it comes to the deck of playing cards to me, is how it shows you how to deal with your relationships.
Right.
You know, a lot of people like to use it to predict things or to tell you what happened in the past. But the true power is helping you understand your relationships, because even the relationships that you deem to not be anything, even the ones that you say, I wish I would have never met that person.
Right.
You met that person
For a reason. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Regardless.
So,
if
right.
Yeah.
That gets into the science of the law of correspondence.
Absolutely.
And when you speak about 44, we'll go directly into a modality that I study called human design. And in human design, they have something called the gene keys. And the gene keys are them looking at the codons, right, in the body, or the genes, what they call the gates. And the 44th gate or the 44th key is karmic relationships. So in human design, it tells you that you have something called fractal relationships, right? Every and anybody that you come into contact with is an integral part of your narrative and your story, good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. It is your job and your assignment to extract a lesson from that interaction and that relationship. There's something there to tell you about yourself,
Right.
that you need to learn. Your failure to do such means that you will always repeat it.
Right.
Hence the fact that you can sit back for 1,000 days and listen to people tell their story, right? Especially as it pertains to relationships. And it's, young lady be like, I keep meeting the same dude over and over and over. And then one would have to ask, well, what have you learned from these relationships that you said don't work, but you keep meeting the same dude?
Keep manifesting.
Right?
Magnifying.
Yeah, you keep manifesting the same man.
Right.
Just festering, right? In your life that you say is on a healthy situation, but you keep meeting the same brother, and the universe is utilizing this individual as a doppelganger for energy.
Right.
To come
show you something again.
To come into your archetypal figure that's encased in energy based on him having some level of cosmological alignment, being magnetized to your pole, your situation, to show you and teach you something, right? But you can't see that it's the same lesson in a different person.
Right.
But you know why?
Why?
They can't see it because they weren't taught how to see it.
That part.
We weren't taught how to see it.
That part.
We weren't taught how to use these systems. You just gave a whole scenario, man, and I'm just thinking about the grand solar spread and the deck of playing cards. And how I said earlier on the other show that each card in the deck is connected to a date on the calendar.
Yes.
So what that means is that if we have a life path, which our life path has 13 cards in it, including the moon card. Some of us have 15 cards because if we add our 2 karma cards, which represents our weaknesses and our strengths,
Right.
they're also represented by people because every card is represented by a person.
Right.
So during your life path, you're going to meet people who are Mercury to you. They're going to bring you Mercury energy.
And explain what that means for the
Mercury
listeners.
energy is a peer. It's somebody that you bounce information off.
Okay.
That you
Communication.
network, that you learn with. That's represented by the Mercury card in your spread. Then you have the Venus card. Venus is represented by family and love. It could be a wife, a girlfriend, a sister, a mother. It's also represented by women.
Right.
So it's definitely going to be a woman or a feminine character in your life. Then we go to Mars. Mars is represented by the Mars card in your life spread. And Mars is somebody who come two ways. They come to push you, say, let's go, let's go to the gym.
Right.
Let's do it now. Get up. Or they somebody who come to compete with you.
Right.
Everything you do, they can do it better.
Everything
You know what I'm saying? They somebody who can be jealous of you.
Aries ass.
Yeah.
Daggers. I know a few.
Yeah, they come to check your anger.
Right.
They come to rile you up.
Right.
You
Push
know,
your button.
they can push your button.
Right.
You know that person that say, man, can't nobody get me there like you.
Right.
That's them. It could be your woman. It could be your mother.
Right.
It could be your sister, your brother, or your
son,
father. Or it could be
daughter.
your mate.
Right.
And that's the most dangerous one.
So
Sleeping
Tariq-
with the enemy. But
do
then
that.
you got a Jupiter card in your life spread. And Jupiter is represented by blessings. So that's that person that comes into your life that always want to give you something. They always want to see you with something, even to the point where you might be like, hey, man, what's your angle?
Right.
And why you always trying to help me?
Right. What you want out of it?
Yeah, they come to bless you. Then you got the Saturn person. The Saturn person is the person who is very critical of you. You can't never please them. You can't never do nothing right.
Right.
They always gonna try to correct you. But also, they come to teach you a hard lesson.
Hard lesson.
A lesson that you may not want to look at. A lesson that you might not want to deal with about yourself, but it's represented by a person. They strengthen you in some way. I say they do.
Right.
Because if you weak, they gonna stand on you. Then you got the Uranus person, which is a friend, somebody you really don't put no expectations on, and they be like, "Hey man, I just came back," and you like, "We all good." And then you got the Neptune. Neptune is somebody in your life that comes to, they like you be infatuated with them. They like a dream, you know.
Silver spoon is under fire, and the pressure bent hit. The times that we living in unprecedented. Silver spoon is under fire, and the pressure bent hit. The times that we living in unprecedented.
Yeah, so we want to know, Tariq, you know, with your discipline, you know, with the I Ching, you know what I'm saying, and the many multiplicities, we think that the oldest thing on the planet is relationships. It's from time immemorial. When we speak about the very first stories that have been given to us through, you know, let's say dogmatic systems such as religion, we're speaking about the relationship in the garden. We're speaking about a relationship Noah had with his children. Everything is relationships. So, you know, such a storied system such as the I Ching that has documented maybe millions of relationships. What does this say? What can we use in this modern day context, you know, to look at relationships with such a ancient, archaic system?
Yeah. So relationships, dealing with these systems, man, it's like the science of alchemy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Turning chemistry out. You know what I mean? Because
Base metals
you
to
talk
gold,
about people,
right.
man, you talking about chemistry.
Transforming.
Anyway.
Right.
Yes,
Like
sir.
elements in chemistry.
Everybody got mental chemistry.
Yes, sir.
And brain chemistry. If you,
Yes,
you wanna
sir.
Get to the science.
Yes,
of it, you know what I'm
sir.
saying? If you got an
Right.
imbalance of a brain chemistry, if something going on with your brain chemistry, they give you drugs for that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Most of the people that suffer from mental illness and stuff like that, they got drugs to deal with that brain chemistry. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's all chemistry. So you got to be like an alchemist, you know, when you're dealing with people.
Right.
Like, for instance, man, I got certain friends, right, who will never meet each other. They will never cross paths. I won't let them.
Right.
I won't throw an event where both of them niggas show up at the same time. I can't do it.
Right.
Because I already know the brain chemistry ain't
Right.
work.
So
That's
you know
powerful.
you can't mix those particular
That's
concoctions
powerful.
or it might blow up.
You can't
That's
mix
powerful.
that. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Yes.
So when you're dealing with these systems, man, especially like when you dealing with the I Ching, or I deal with two systems. I deal with the Meta Oracle system, and I deal with the I Ching, right? So
Yes.
it's all about the number one reading that I do all the time is a reading called "What Should Be My Conduct with Such and Such," or comments on somebody's conduct with me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And what these systems will do, it'll give you basically, it'll tell you the brain chemistry that's going on at the time of these people. Whatever certain elements going on, that ain't gonna work. Let me give you an example, right? I did, when I first started, I won't say it's about 15 years ago. When it was right after the KTL show, right? Actually, when we did the Destiny Grind, it's about 2011, right? So this sister came and I did a read for this sister, right? And she wanted to get in this relationship with the dude. She feeling this dude, right? She really feeling this dude, right? I'm like, so I did the reading, right? And I pulled the deck and I got it's just like the 52 decks, right?
Yeah.
But it's 72 in this deck.
Yeah.
I pulled the deck and the card came out Heracahudi, right? Heracahudi is in other systems it's known as a goon. You know what I'm saying? It's a Mars energy, warrior. You know what I'm saying? Combative. Now, if you see that in a relationship, somebody might get their ass whipped.
Oh,
You
absolutely.
dig what I'm saying?
Domestic
But
violence.
The sister that I'm doing this reading for, right? She more of a set person. She's a nurturing, nice, kind, hearted, sweet individual. But she got this Erica Hootie reading in this relationship.
Right.
So knowing her personality and knowing what her cards say, this chemistry,
You know
that
he's
ain't gonna
standing
work
on
for
it.
you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm feeling this dude. This the dude, you know, her emotions is and she really want to get into the situation with this dude, right?
Right, yeah.
I can only tell her what I see, right? I'm saying, look, if you do that, you all right.
Right.
Nah, I'm feeling this dude. So she go do it anyway, right?
Anyway.
So she get in this relationship, right? One day, you know, I think, you know, everything was cool. And her homegirls came over one night. You know how it go. Your homegirl, you know, put on your shit, girl, let's go out. You know what I'm saying? So they're about to go out on the town, right? So dude like, yo, where you going? I'm going out.
Right.
No, you ain't.
Ghostface.
Nigga, fuck, you know, he talking talking a little shit or whatever.
That's
she
that
went out
wife
anyway.
star.
She went
Right.
out with her friends. She went out anyway. They dropped her off.
Screw. Right.
she came back to the crib. Some Ike Turner shit went down. You feel what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He started beating on her.
Damn.
And so it wasn't a one-time thing. So doing this relationship with this dude, he constantly abusing her, beating on her, right? Beating on her. So this nice, happy-go-lucky female, now she's getting abused, beating on her. Her personality starts to change. Starts to change, right? So one day, something might happen. They got into it at the kitchen table, whatever. She said something. He raised her hand. He raised his hand at her, and I think he hit her. She pulled a blade out on him.
Lord.
She cut him. Like, nigga, I'll kill you. You know, you put your, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
She really, she gave him the business, you know what I mean? And they end up breaking up. And she went her separate ways. They went their separate ways. But she no longer that upset person no more.
Nah.
Right.
She no longer happy-go-lucky no more.
She a
Permanently
beast.
She's a beast now.
transformed.
You understand?
Right.
She don't put up with niggas. She don't put up with that shit. So what crazy thing is, she a job came up, and in this job, it was some type of manager position. But this manager position require you to be that type of personality that don't take no shit from nobody.
Yeah.
But she wasn't before she got into this
Yeah,
relationship.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So her brain chemistry changed by being in that relationship. So was it a good thing or a bad thing for us? How you look at it?
Well,
know
I
what I'm saying?
think it was because what you first of all, you said that Mars energy, right?
Yeah.
We know Mars is connected to Pluto. Pluto is the planet of transformation. So really, that was the catalyst for her to transform
Right.
into this Pluto person that she needed to be. And she ended up just so happened getting blessed with this position in this
She got the
job
position.
to be able to excel and through, you know what it say, a gem cannot be polished without friction.
Right.
A gold cannot be purified without going through the fire. So man and woman cannot be perfected or cannot be transformed without trials.
Right.
So that Mars energy, which is connected to Pluto, transformed her away from that offset energy, which probably didn't get her nowhere. People just ran over her.
Yeah.
Right.
People took her for granted. That Neptune energy took her kindness for weakness. She's seeing everybody through rose-colored glasses, and they ain't none of that.
Right.
So, man, it's amazing how that worked, but that's kind of how the planets work.
It's like a muscle
with the
right?
cards.
It's like
Absolutely.
if you want to work a certain muscle, it got to go through a workout. It got to be challenged in some type of way, right? So people want to go through life and not be challenged.
Yeah.
Everybody want the easy. A lot of people come to me and ask reading so they can avoid situations. You know what I'm saying? So they can avoid a challenge.
Man, I'm glad you said that.
It don't
'cause
work
that's
like
what
that.
it's
Hold
for.
on. Let him.
That's what it's for.
Yeah,
That's what it's for.
it don't work like that.
that's
You
what
need sometimes you need. Now, not saying you supposed to get in a relationship to be getting your ass whooped, but not like that. But in her particular situation, like you said, that wasn't getting her nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But she ended up, growing from that situation. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you can use. That's how these tools work. You know what I'm saying? When you get into it ain't based upon what you want. It's like you feeling somebody, you do a reading, and reading tell you that ain't the person for you. You choose to do it anyway. There's a lesson in that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, just like back in the day, our ancestors when they got in relationships, when you was gonna marry this person or that person, that was decided by other factors. It ain't about how you really feel all the time. You know what I mean? What the reading say? Somebody say you do reading on that situation. You know what I'm saying? Is it a dowry? Is there some money involved with that? You know what I mean? It's other factors besides just about how you feel about it. But right now, everybody just hopping to situations based upon their feelings.
Romantic.
Yeah, it's crazy right now.
But I want you to expound on what you was talking about, because you said something about, that's what these systems are for, guidance.
Yeah.
Why even? Let me ask, and this to all of y'all, but to you mainly, Tariq. Why is it that when the I Ching tells somebody don't do it, they do it anyway? They come to you, they pay you for a reading, they pay you for the advice, the guidance. You give it to them, and they do it anyway.
Okay, cool. But let's hop into this. We're gonna get back into that after this little break, man. So let's hop into this. Let's pay some bills and then.
Silver spoon is under fire, and the pressure bent it. The times that we living in unprecedented. Silver spoon is under fire, and the pressure bent it. The times that we living in unprecedented.
I was saying, you made an interesting point. You said, man, these systems are to prevent us from going through the things that we go through. I had a lady this morning when I spoke on Tekashi being displaced by the two of clubs and some disastrous happened. She said, I'm displaced by the two of clubs. I'm not claiming that. Right. I said, ma'am, it's not about what you claiming. This science. This is to prevent you from going down that road. When it's a tornado coming, what do? A weather forecast. They let us know.
Right, they give you forecast.
So why don't people listen to what the forecast says, Tariq?
I think because what I said earlier, people use these tools to get to satisfy a desire. You know what I'm saying? Or emotional desire. They ain't really using these tools to what they were meant to be used for. Is basically they help you in your spiritual development. Spiritual development is a workout. Development is a workout.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like if you want to dunk like what's your man name? Ja Morant?
Yeah, Ja Morant.
Yeah, that boy jump out the gym. Mm-hmm. You ever seen the workouts his daddy used to put him through when he was in high school? Yo, it was crazy. It's like damn near child abuse. You know what I'm saying? He was, it was like, it's not an accident.
Joe Jackson.
The boy, Joe Jackson. It's not an accident that the boy jumped like that because he was challenged. His muscles was being worked on, muscles that other kids weren't using, he was using that. While they was chilling, he was working off that muscle.
Okay.
So most people come and they want to do a reading so they can avoid that challenge.
Right.
They want to find an easy route to something without the least path of resistance.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
With no type of challenge, no type of development. They want to get what it is that they want out of that situation, whether it be a man, a woman, or whatever. You dig what I'm saying? So when they come to a reading, they're like, a dude might come to a reading like, comments on me getting with such and such. You know why? Because he got a sexual interest in that. He won't hit that. It ain't even about the other shit that come with that.
Yeah.
He want to satisfy that urge.
Absolutely.
Same thing for the female. You dig what I'm saying? Whatever urge she trying to satisfy. I've noticed that like a lot of situations, what I see is that the same. Like for instance, I got this one sister, right? She go through different type of relationships, you know what I'm saying, with different type of people, different type of dudes, right? And they all end up the same way. Because they all the same energy. Every man got a different body, but it's the same dude. You see what I'm saying? They can't see this. They can't see the spiritual connection between none of this. They can't see that it's the same dude that you keep getting in these situations with. And they keep ending the same way because you refuse to learn the lesson.
You refuse to learn the lesson.
You know what I'm saying? Man. Because you chasing this urge. You chasing this desire. It ain't about that. Until you learn that lesson, you're going to keep going through these situations. So the reader is supposed to, let you know that, look, man, this is the spiritual lesson in that situation. What if you, for instance, if you're a selfish person, right? You might be selfish. You don't like to share. Now you in a relationship with a person that you got to share with. You know what I'm saying? And that's a challenge to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I always got to, you know what I'm saying? It's a challenge to you. You don't like that. You know what I mean? So that relationship end up going sideways because you selfish. If I want the relationship to work, what you were supposed to work on was your not being a selfish ass person. You dig what I'm saying? But you didn't work on that. So now that relationship ended in a bad way. But that's what these readings are supposed to do. It's a spiritual. So when you're doing the reading, you're like, yo, comments on, what's the spiritual lesson in the situation? What you're supposed to be working on? Because that's at the end of the day, that's really what it's all about.
That's what it's all
People
about.
People don't understand that.
So
they get into these relationships and they don't end up right.
Man.
Because they don't see the spiritual connection. You know what I mean? And that ain't just for, me being a diviner. You know what I'm saying? I also have these same issues. You see what I'm saying? I got these. Let me tell you, using these tools, it's like improving your batting percentage. 70%. You might be shooting. Let's go to basketball. You might be shooting from 3-point range. You might be shooting 35%. You might hit 35% of your shots. With the I Ching, now you shooting 60%. You like Steph Curry out there. You hitting from. You dig what I'm saying? But you still gonna miss. But your percentage is gonna go up. You ain't gonna be perfect, but your percentage is going up. This is what these tools gonna do. You're not gonna be perfect using these tools. You can come to a reading, just like with business. I've made money and I lost money using this, right? My percentages go up. Just like using the like you're a trader. You know what I'm saying? Your percentages goes up by how nice you is with the indicators.
Absolutely.
These ain't nothing but spiritual indicators.
Absolutely.
You still gotta have some common sense. You can give a person the best reading. You can give them all the information, but if they kind of slow,
or if they
can't process shit right,
or if it going one ear and out the other,
yeah, they gonna still miss. You dig what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So you still gotta have other tools with this. These are just things that help you shoot better from the field. But like my relationships, I can't say I'm perfect with them. You know what I mean? But at least I can go and do a read. I got a common sense to say, man, comments on what should be my conduct in this situation. Oh damn, I'm being an asshole. I'm tripping. You know what I mean? I don't need her to tell me I'm tripping. Like if I get into it with my girl, I'm stopping. But sis, she might put me on the spot. Go do a reading on it. I don't even want to do it because I don't want to hear the truth sometimes. Okay? I do the reading on it and then it be me. Then I got to bow down, apologize, and humble myself. Yeah. So it's all about behavior modification and basically looking at the spiritual principles in these situations, bro.
And that's why I always say the 52 deck of playing cards is one of the most powerful self-development tools you could possibly ever imagine. Because just like you said, all your cards in your life spread, they come to teach you a lesson, or they come to bring you a blessing. And if you don't learn the lesson, you're gonna meet that same person that's a different birthday that's the same card.
No escape.
You know what I'm saying? Or you gonna meet that same person if you don't receive that blessing. Because remember, blessings are something that you have to receive.
Right.
If I come to Red and I say, Red, here's $1,000, brother, and he said, for what? I say, just cause. He said, man, I don't want that. He didn't receive the blessing.
Right.
So in his life path, he's going to miss that. Later on, he's going to encounter somebody with that same card that's going to bring it again with a different birth date or the same birth date. So I like what Blue said about, people just being catalysts and them just being a piece of a puzzle.
Right, fractals.
Fractals to be able to bring you
Human
something.
fractals, right.
Teach you something. Mm-hmm. That's what the relationships, that's the most important thing to me when it comes to these sciences. But people often don't listen. Blue tell me, hey, Malik, don't do business with dude. I seen in the reading it said don't do business with him. But the money's so good, or I want the money so bad, I'm going to take the chance anyway. Well, it might not happen that way, but then when it happened, I come to Blue. And he said, man, I told you.
Or you want another child.
Oh, come on, man.
You want to be a parent.
There it is. There it is.
So, yeah, I think that would be the next multi-million-dollar, $21 million question. We have possession of a lot of verifiable tools. we've tried, they're tried and tested on our own selves. You know what I'm saying? How do we get people convinced that these tools are applicable in their own lives? We can only, lead by example and tell our narratives and our stories. I got, I was in a
demonstrate.
Yeah, I was in a relationship. I was leaving one relationship to start another one. I went to the Giant for a reading. This is one of those life-altering readings. You like whatever decision, whatever foot I'm going to step on, it's going to alter my life. It's going to alter my destiny. You know what I'm saying? And he gave me a reading with instructions, and the instructions were very, like, precise, intricate, detailed. You know what I mean? And I might have followed 85% of it. But that 15%, that 15% that I veered from and fell short of, it became the undoing ultimately, because it gave what it promised to give. How the reading came and showed me, if you do this, this will be the result. If you don't do it like this is going to be the result. That ended up ultimately being the result because I didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not lending it to any mystical, you feel me, occurrence. I didn't do what I was supposed to do and fell short. You know what I'm saying? Of that particular fulfillment factor of that particular reading. So not only do people need this information, they need to be serious about it and know that you got to carry it all the way through. And that's what we're not here to hold your hand for. And with that, we'll be back.
Silver spoon is under fire, and the pressure been hit. The times that we living in unprecedented. Silver spoon is under fire, and the pressure been hit. The times that we living in unprecedented.
So you said we're not here to hold a hand, but isn't that what a guide does?
Yeah, I mean the information within itself is a guide. The information leads the way. It shows you the light, right? It makes a promise based on a probability.
Yes.
The promise is not a guarantee.
Yes.
You feel me? It's a probability factor. So whether you choose to level up to say, I'm going to, in my heart, receive this information, you know what I'm saying? And accept it as quote unquote true and follow through because it requires some level of faith.
Yeah.
Right? The results of it are not things that you can tangibly see, but it signals your character, because the things that were being asked of me was a discipline thing. Yo, you got to do X, Y, and Z. It's going to be choppy in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to be able to stand a rough terrain in the rain in order for a smoother ride. So I already knew I'm going into a level of uncomfortability, and I have to willingly put myself into that. You know what I'm saying? That takes a lot of discipline. And it's not normal or natural for us, I don't think, in this life to volunteer ourselves for discomfort unless you're really you already have developed some sort of mental, you know what I'm saying, about yourself to be like, I got to go through certain, you know what I mean? Like if you got a backdrop and working out and no pain, no gain, you already have that ethos in your mind. You got a mama mentality, you feel me? Then you might run up to it like, all right, where's my test at? But like he said, some people, the majority of people shirk from tests. You know what I'm saying? They duck out on difficulty and look for the path of easiest, you know what I'm saying? The path of least resistance.
There are also those who don't like the truth that come out in that reading, who don't like the reading didn't say what they wanted it.
They don't want to accept it.
So guess what they do? They go back to the old Christian church and walk in blind faith. Now, they say, man, that ain't. I ain't trying to hear that.
And also, we witness it. They'll attack the system and the reader.
They definitely will. They'll attack the system. Ooh, yeah, they will. They will. They'll, listen.
To secure their safety.
Women used to ask me all the time, when my mate gonna come? When I'm gonna get married? And I say, well, what's your birthday? And they'll tell me. And I say, well, according to the science, you one of the most unmarriageable cards in the deck. Because I'm a straight shooter.
Right.
Man, they'll say, what?
Yeah,
I say, yeah. I say, out of all the cards in the deck, only 10 of them are deemed to be marriageable.
Ooh.
That's why the divorce rate's so high.
Ooh.
That's why people go through so many different relationships in their life.
Right.
Because 95% of the cards in the deck were put here to learn love through many different relationships.
Wow.
And so a lot of women usually end up not married at all, end up by themselves like our aunties and grandmamas and big mamas.
Damn.
Or they don't find it until after 45.
Ooh.
And when I tell a 20-something-year-old woman that, hey, you need to just focus on your money, focus on your mind and your spirit. Right now ain't the time for a relationship because you probably ain't going to settle down until after 45. They say, you a damn liar.
A damn liar.
They like, you got me twisted. No, 45? No, the hell I ain't. And I'm sitting there like, and often, some will even get mad and say, yeah, you projected that on me. Yeah, you ain't gonna put that on me. Yeah, he tried to put on me that I wasn't gonna get. Come on, man. I'm just going by the
Cardology sorcery.
Yeah. They want me to sugarcoat it. Right. So, I had to learn over the years to kind of be tactful because that's a touchy subject. Because every little girl was taught to marry a tall, dark, and handsome man and have an extravagant wedding with horses and carriages. And
the princess program.
Absolutely.
It's real.
And so unfortunately, and the same way with the men, we are unmarriageable people and by nature. And so what that means is you may not be with the same person for the rest of your life. How many of us had that first love when we was 20 and 19 and we just knew you ain't never going nowhere? Yeah, I don't never want to let her go. I don't never want to let him go. That's my baby. We getting married.
Right.
Man, I got an 18-year-old daughter right now. She swear. Hey, she called me. She said, Daddy. I said, what? She said, so what you think? You asked me for his birthday. What you think? I said, baby, just enjoy it and enjoy the moment. She said, so what that mean? It ain't gonna last? I said, no, right there baby. With her too.
Right there. What you mean? Is dad?
That daddy the bad guy.
I said, baby.
My father had that.
I said, baby. I said, just have fun.
Right.
She said, okay. You know what I'm saying? But she I could tell the first thing she said, it ain't gonna last. And in my mind, I'm like, baby, you 18.
Right.
Like the probabilities.
Nothing gonna last.
Man.
Right. But they also are living in there now.
Absolutely. They are.
You know what I'm saying?
They are.
So is it on us to steal from them the probability of everlasting love and joy?
But what about us preparing them for the other side of that? It's almost like in the dope game. They'll tell you about the fancy cars, but remember they say they don't tell you about that other side.
The other side.
They don't tell you about that prison.
That flip
side. They don't tell you about them jack boys.
Yeah.
They don't tell you about you could possibly lose your life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
tell you about them soul contracts.
Right. So that's where I believe in balance.
Right.
I ask people when they get a reading from me, this is what I say. Mm-hmm. I say, do you want to hear all the bells and whistles? Or do you want to hear both sides? Because everybody's mind can't deal with hearing challenges. Right. They can't deal with hearing, hey, you probably going to lose your job this year. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's probably time for you to let that profession go. Hey, that relationship probably on the rocks and it's probably finna end.
Right.
A lot of people can't deal with that. A lot of people can't deal with, hey, man, you probably going to lose that money on that business deal. A lot of people can't, hey, you probably going to get sick. You might need to go to, a lot of people can't deal with that. So I give them the option in the reading to see what you want. And there have been people that say, man, I just want to hear the bells and whistles. I don't want to hear nothing else. I deal with all that other shit when it comes.
Mm-hmm.
So
You know the thing about relationships, man, what people got to understand is when you get into a new relationship, everybody front.
Say that again.
Everybody front. When
Absolutely.
When
They
you
wearing the
courting,
mask.
what they call it?
Everybody.
Courting? No,
Yep, courting.
When you
Courting.
first courting,
Courting.
you put and you trying to get with somebody.
Got your
everybody
game
fronting.
face.
You don't know. You don't really. That person putting on the game face.
A
Exactly.
game face.
It's the game face, man.
Poker
you know
face.
what I'm saying? So the read be going past all that. You know, they gonna say, he ain't really like that. You know what I'm saying? He looking on. Like, I'm gonna take my first when my girl first met me. You know what I'm saying? She thought I was popping. You know what I'm saying? I had a rental car. You dig what I'm saying? You know, I have my financial aid. You know, you used to get the financial aid, right? You know, refund checks and all that. You know, I had bread and I had a rental car. She thought I was popping. You know what I'm saying?
Put together popping, right?
Yeah, you know, that's what I'm
Had
saying,
a
man.
deep
Everybody
voice.
friend when they get into a situation. So you got to get past all that. When you're in a new relationship, you got to get past that, man. That shit is not. That's not how it's gonna
That
be.
phase, yeah,
You
that
dig what I'm
phase, that
saying?
fronting phase.
And you don't really know how somebody is till you go through some shit with them.
That's
you dig
why.
what I'm saying?
That's why there's new approaches to these relationships. What we would identify as a top-down approach.
Talk about it.
talk about it.
You know, we've been conditioned for the bottom-up approach, right? From your root chakra or from your primal self, right? You want to basically meet shorty at the club, knock her down, and then get to know her, right? Then see if you like her based off of the fact that if she repels you or if she's attached to you. You don't know her human design. You don't know if she's compatible with you. You don't know her blood type. You don't know the history, right? But you lock in with her. Top-down approach is that you find out all of these things before you conquer the mind. She falls in love with you through the spirit first, right? And then y'all wrap it up, and then it's a top-down. So by the time you enter her course, right, it will be forever. That's eternal.
Silver spoon is under fire, and the pressure been hit. The times that we living in unprecedented. Silver spoon is under fire, and the pressure been hit. The times that we living in unprecedented.
You know, women often speak about, you know, the ways that they fall in love with men. And they're more cerebral, you know.
Sapiosexual.
Sapiosexuals, they're more about falling in love with his mind. They fall in love with the person. You know, that's why when you ask them, does size matter? And, you know, they're like, you know what? If I'm digging them, then I'll let, you know, that's not a game killer. You know what I'm talking about?
In the beginning.
You know. And a lot of women often speak about, you know, when they say that men are not emotional, when they're not open, it's like, you know, what they're saying is they're not connecting with them, you know, through their intellect. They're not connecting to their minds. They're not piercing through the curtain or the veil and whatnot. They're just physical. It's a flex. Feel my muscles. You know what I mean? Yeah, see me flex.
See me flex.
Yeah, fleece me. Yeah. You know.
Yeah, I did something of that nature. I was in a long distance relationship. It's the reading that I got from Tyreek, and you know, I hadn't been quote unquote physical. You know what I'm saying, with this young lady yet, but I decided that we were gonna be in a relationship, and my ultimate aspirational goal for this relationship would be to get married, you know, and start a family and everything. So I started from a top-down approach to say, you know, rather than call this young lady my girlfriend, let me call her my fiance, and let's build from there going up. Since I don't expect to be building going down.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we take this time that we have a goal of particular physical, you know, interaction between one another. We're going to build on a mental, on a spiritual, you know, get to know everything about one another. This is when Skype and all that first came out. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Dude is online, you know, video phone 5 or 6 hours.
Skype.
You feel me? Yeah, I'm Skyping
Static
it.
with all the
You know what I'm saying?
Skype. Man.
You know what I mean?
Pip it.
Yeah, I was Skype pimping and all of that. Going to sleep on Skype.
Going
Luke
to sleep on
Skype
Skype.
Walker.
Yeah. Going to sleep and waking up.
Now they got Zoom.
You know, and all of that. In that process, it was a different approach, but it was a genuine construct because the responsibility factor was somewhat different starting from the top down as opposed to the bottom up. You know what I mean? And then when that connection did take place, it was a lot more meaningful. It was a lot more eventful because of, you know, the anticipation factor. You know what I mean? So that's definitely something for people to look into. It's not for the leery. You know, you have to have some sort of spiritual foundation to even be disciplined in that particular respect.
Well, I always tell people you want to know because you could save yourself a whole bunch of headaches, man.
Know what?
You know what this person is prior to you, know, getting into these systems. You know, you know, if I say, hey, what's his birthday, or what's her birthday, but
then it depends on what you want to know. Some people, to them, it only matters what the head hitting. Like it only matters what the box is hitting for, and everything else around that is just window dressing.
But
whereas opposed to some people, is like, yeah, that's just part of it, but I really want to know the person. You know what I'm saying? So we got to get back to even explaining to ourselves and to other individuals that are listening, what is a relationship in this modern day context? Because we living in the age of Tinder and swipe left and dating apps and things of that nature. So we might lump these words in and take for granted that what it meant to you in your particular day and time don't mean what it means to somebody who's 18 or 20. You feel me?
And so that's
who met somebody on the app.
Hookup culture.
Hookup culture.
But that's why
and they had a physical, primarily physical attraction because it's like what they falling in love with the bio. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's why I said, man, it's important for you to know who this person is because everybody is in your life for a different reason. You'll end up sleeping with somebody that was there to really teach you a lesson, and you wasn't even supposed to be doing that. You'll end up cutting somebody off who was really there to be a blessing, and you really wasn't even supposed to be doing that. So the cards teach us what the planetary connection is,
right?
Based off the 7 visible planets and the 8th one, Pluto. You're gonna have a connection between one of those planets. Some people may just came to bring you a piece of information to elevate you somewhere and go on about their business.
So again,
they was only here for a season and a reason.
Yeah. So because we know that once again we're in possession of a cheat code, right?
Absolutely.
We have these tools that could give us a rare advantage, and we know that even on a place, even in an ecosystem like YouTube, you know, relationships are one of the top trending topics on these platforms. We seen what our people was going through, you know, these years with the high value this and high value that. Rest in peace to Kevin Samuels and what have you. You know, what will be your recommendation, you know, for everybody around the table? You know what I'm saying? How will we get this information to people that we can give them access to these advantages? What use are the tools if nobody knows that they exist? 1 or 2 that they're not using them. How can we make this information more accessible? How do you see that we can utilize social media, technology, or whatever we have access to, right, to at least tell people that there is a way other than what they have been doing that seemingly hasn't been working?
We doing it right now. We putting the information out there. See, that's the problem. The information wasn't being put out there.
Right.
You know, people was concealing the information, or people just didn't even understand it properly to be able to, you know, convey it to the next person. So understanding, learning the language and teaching the language, putting it out on these platforms. I always advise everybody, man, if you don't know somebody's birthday, they ain't your friend.
I would say that when my observation from being on a dating scene is that a lot of indoctrination has taken place by way of the reality television and the programming.
Right.
So we need 4 reality shows, 3 blogs, 2 movies, right? and one
Do
daytime
podcasts,
show.
right?
That's
I would
hard.
say one daytime show. All of these apparatuses will basically be propagandized to push all of the agendas.
Right.
In the movies, the tools
In the
will be
no,
used.
yeah, in the dating, yeah, a
In the
dating
daytime
app
sh-
that
And a dating
utilizes
The dating app as well.
The
technology,
yeah, the dating
the
app at the
systems.
end of that funnel,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
But the reality show will bring you personalities, tropes. All of these things will be handled through the producers and whatnot who will script this quote unquote narrative. But the tools will be used. The quote unquote, the disciplines will be shown and whatnot. These character development will
Absolutely.
be very intricate, like how Housewives and some other those other ones were. And then we move into like a daytime show where you're interviewing experts in that field every time. You're just bringing that, you know what I mean? You're introducing new people to authors, celebrities, influencers, or the whole
gamut, right?
the whole gamut.
You can literally give me a room full of 100 people right now, give me all their birthdays, and I can tell you what relationships have the highest probability of working and which ones you need to keep away from one another.
I'm gonna hold you to that, and we're gonna do that. We're gonna book
Absolutely.
an auditorium.
Book
We're gonna do a live show, and
Book
we are
it.
gonna do that, brother.
Book it.
I want
Yes.
facts.
Because I
Let's
can
see
literally
Tyree.
show you what the probabilities are.
Yeah, man.
Close
They,
this
they
out.
had man, it's crazy. They got a show, a reality show out right now, where they had a master, two master astrologers, and then I think they had like 12. Yeah, they got 12 couples, and each of them represented certain signs
Different
of the
zo-
zodiac.
word.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
an astrologer matches them together.
Yeah.
They put them in this house, and they let stuff play out.
Word.
You know?
There it is.
Yeah. I'm
There
gonna
it is.
shoot. Yeah, I seen it the other day.
Yeah, that's
Man, that's
powerful.
crazy, right?
That's powerful.
So that you're right. You need because stories sell. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
You gotta show people a practical way to use the tool. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You gotta see it play out in life.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? These
Right.
stories telling. So I agree, man. Stuff like that, some type of show you can show how these situations, like we'll do a reading or whatever, and let the situation play out, man. But with this particular tool, man, I use the I Ching, man. It's real. It's 3 pennies in the book. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
It's real. Real simple tools that everybody got. Just like yours, the 52 decks.
Absolutely.
You go get a deck of cards from anywhere.
Absolutely.
So just learning how to use them.
Learning the language.
Tools right here. to
Learning the
use 'em.
science.
These ain't, these things been around before we came here, bro.
Yes,
We
Right.
didn't make
yes.
them up. This ain't nothing we just came and put together.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? It's already been here, man. But
Like
yes.
Blue say, they come from time and time and time again.
Hey,
That's right.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. Show and prove. You know what I mean? Show and prove and make a move. So,
Yeah. So, right, as the viewing audience is engaged and entertained by this conversation dealing with this multiplicity of systems, I want to let them know, before this, before we implement all of these different vehicles to make this information more available to the population, how can they get in contact with you gentlemen in real time to get some of this updated information to get their relationships?
yeah. So you can find me at on Instagram, Destiny Grind at Destiny Grind, DESTINYGRIND, or www.destinygrind.com. So how I take a different approach. I'm using the tech. As you can see on this table, man, we got these headsets, this virtual reality, man. So what we able to do, man, we able to take these readings, we able to pull you into the metaverse with us, and we not just gonna tell you about the reading, we gonna pull you in there into
show
your
you
reading,
about
and
the
show
reading.
you yourself, show you the reading, and break it down in real time in virtual reality. So that's the type of stuff, man. What's the purpose of having all this tech if we can't use it, baby? It's a wonderful time to be alive, baby. So
right.
we using this technology. We're gonna get you engaged. We're gonna get you in your reading. You ain't gonna never forget. And anytime you want to go back and see what it is that you're supposed to do, you put your headsets on. You get to look at the situation and figure it out, man. So yeah, check me out. I'm at destinygrind.com and www.destinygrind.com. And my brother Malik Mashan,
Mashan.
he's gonna be inside this metaverse with us.
Absolutely.
We're gonna be doing.
Let's hear it, Malik.
Yeah, you can reach me at www.malikdeshawn, that's MalikDeshawn.com, or you can reach me on Instagram at Renaissance Man 8000. There's only one. Look out. There's no 80,000. There's no 800 because you got a lot of phony and fakes out there. Or you can reach me on Facebook at Malik Deshawn or on TikTok at Renaissance Man 8000.
That's right.
And, you know, this is what it's about. You know, my mission is to spread this knowledge, but to teach the language. Because if you don't understand the language, you don't understand self. And when you start to learn the language, you start to understand how to really use these cards to map out your life, your relationships, your finances, your thoughts, and your emotions. So, you know, I am Malik Deshawn. This is my man, Blue Pillar and Red Pillar, the twins. Talk to them, Blue. Where can they find you?
At Blue Pillar 44, BLUEPILLAR 44. Accept no imitations. That's the only destination. You can find me on that handle on Instagram, on Twitter, and on TikTok. bluepillar44@gmail.com. You can shoot me any inquiries if you're trying to holler at me, right? So, yeah, this information is also available at this destination. All right, holler at me, hit me up.
Yes, Brother Phil Moreland at IG, PHIL_MORELAND. If you don't see 100,000 plus followers, that's not me. And my approach to the affairs of the heart is I'm going to be presenting an app by the name of Conscious_Connections with a Z. That is also my IG, Conscious_Connections with a Z. And what my purpose is to bring forth a smart app, an AI controlled app, where we're going to bring people together and we're going to utilize many of the tools that we have at hand, and we'll have it at an automated pace to where we could put people together. We could teach people about the intricacies of each other through human design, through their tarot, through many other indicators that'll help people further, get past some of those quote unquote icebreaker moments and really find who they are destined to be with. So Conscious_Connections. Look out for us. Love and light. Peace.